today we are going to be discussing bandages and how to apply them. Some of the bandages in this video are going to be used for support, while others are going to be used for protection. It is important to note that although I do not have a handler in this horses on cross ties for the purpose of this video, it would be particularly important in any other situation to have a handler available to you to make sure that you do not get injured in the process of wrapping your horse. The first wrap that I'm going to be demonstrating today is a pillow wrap. Before I even talk about how to wrap a pillow, I want to talk about some safety features before I even do that. So, when wrapping a pillow, you are going to be squatted down next to the leg, but you do not want to at any point in time touch both knees to the ground. At some points in time, you can touch one knee to the ground, such as this, but you don't want to touch both knees to the ground, as that leaves you in a vulnerable state. If your horse was to move or jump over the top of you, you would not be able to get up fast enough to avoid the blow of their legs. So now that we've talked about that, I'm going to demonstrate how to wrap a pillow. So you are going to want to squat next to your horse. You're going to want to start your pillow at the end of the knee. You are going to take your pillow so that it is facing towards the leg and you are wrapping around the leg rather than pulling the pillow, such as this, around the leg, which is just an awkward motion to begin with, but that will create a pillow that ends up on the wrong angle and without the Velcro facing the outside. So we are going to take our pillow with it facing the leg. We are going to start at the bottom of the knee, keeping pressure without being too tight. Once we've done our first wrap, we're going to go down about 2 finger lengths, trying to keep the same consistent width throughout the wrap to avoid any bowing or tendons or cording the tendons. We are going to check our wrap as we go, making sure that there are no wrinkles within the wrap so that we do not create any uneven pressure. Once we get to this point where the fetlock is, we are going to cup the fetlock by going at a diagonal angle down, cupping the fetlock, and then coming back up, creating a small V in the front, which you can see in this wrap. And again, we're going to straighten out any wrinkles that we have gotten through doing the cupping of the fetlock. Again, we are going to continue wrapping, keeping 2 finger lengths throughout the wrap with nice, even pressure. And then we are going to end our wrap around where we started, just below the knee. As you can see, this wrap ended with the Velcro on the front of the leg and a little bit on the side of the leg, which shows that it is a good wrap. You normally would like your wrap to end this way so that the horse doesn't cause any interference and knock off the Velcro and lose the wrap during riding. This wrap is utilized to protect the leg from interference, or one of the hind legs hitting the front leg or one of the front legs hitting the other front leg. And it will create protection from that and it will lead to a less likely chance that the horse nicks themselves with their own leg, but it will not offer any sort of support to the horse. The next wrap that I am going to demonstrate is going to be a standing wrap. Items that we're going to need to utilize are going to be as follows: a pillow wrap, a track wrap, and masking tape. This wrap can be used to keep inflammation and swelling down in a leg or limb. Usually, what you're going to use for this wrap is a pillow. It can be rolled cotton, a normal pillow such as the one that I am holding, or a no-bow tendon pillow. As you can see, this particular one has a regular side and then it has a fluffy side. You're going to want to wrap the fluffy side towards the leg, so I'm going to put the fluffy side against the leg. Again, just like the pillow, I'm going to start below the knee, and I'm going to go down to the fetlock with this particular one, but you can go all the way down to the coronary band, depending on what you are trying to accomplish by the wrap. So I'm going to start my wrap, going right below the knee, pulling it towards me, and then towards his tail, keeping a consistent but not too tight amount of pressure. You want the pressure to be fairly tight in the wrap, not so tight that you're worried about cording or bowing a tendon, as we don't want to create more harm doing these wraps than we are doing good. And as you can see, as I do my wraps, I go through and I straighten out, pulling down the bottoms and tucking everything in and just making sure it is both a pretty wrap and a useful wrap. So as I go around, I smooth out any and all wrinkles just to make sure that I don't end up cording his leg in any way, shape, or form. The next material that I'm going to use is going to be this track wrap. I like to personally tuck mine underneath my pillow, and then I wrap it around my pillow like I would a polo bandage. Again, keeping the same amount of consistent pressure throughout the wrap. Going ahead and pulling out any and all wrinkles. And then I usually start a few inches from the top, and then I will go down about 2 inches, which is the normal amount that I personally like to use. I also like to just measure it with 2 fingers, and then throughout the wrap I'm going to keep that consistent width. So I'm always going to want to go about 2 fingers down each time I wrap around the pillow. Once I get towards the bottom, I'm going to leave about 1 inch to 2 inches around the bottom of the white wrap. And then I am going to continue up my wrap, keeping as much of the same width as possible. Again, as you can see, as I am wrapping, I am smoothing out any and all wrinkles that I can, because I want to make sure that this is a safe wrap to leave on. Most of these wraps are going to be left on for 12 hours at a time, or overnight, depending on what your vet recommends for your specific case and why you are particularly wrapping a horse with a standing wrap. Again, once I get to the top, I'm going to leave 1 inch or so of the white around the top, and seal in my wrap with the Velcro. Taking one last minute to smooth out all and any wrinkles that happen during my wrap. Once my wrap is finally complete, I go ahead and I take some masking tape, especially for difficult horses that have a tendency to stomp off their wraps, and I wrap it in a spiral down the portion of the leg, just to make sure that my wrap is going to stay on overnight or in any situation where the horse could not keep it off. And that would be how I would personally wrap a standing wrap. The wrap that I am going to demonstrate is going to be a wound wrap. For a wound wrap, we are going to need our ointment of choice, a Telfa pad and roll gauze. We are going to need a pillow wrap and a track wrap. And finally, we are going to need elasticon and scissors. For this, I am going to personally utilize some Vaseline to show as an ointment. Even though it is not an ointment, it will simulate an ointment pretty well, and will show you how a Telfa pad will stick to the leg. So the first step that we are going to do is I'm going to take my Telfa pad and unwrap it from its package, and I'm going to take the Vaseline, and I am going to directly insert the Telfa pad, as it is just come out of the sterile package, into the Vaseline and get some of the ointment on. From there, I am going to take it and stick it on his imaginary wound. And then we are going to take some roll gauze, and we are going to wrap some roll gauze, and we are going to wrap the bandage to secure it just a little bit more than the ointment is doing. We do not want our Telfa, we do not want the roll gauze to be taut during our wrapping. We just want it tight enough that it will help the gauze pad stay on. And now I will take some scissors and I will cut the roll gauze to secure, and then I will secure it by tucking it under the other portion of the roll gauze. Now that our wound has the ointment on it, I am going to take an appropriate size pillow and begin wrapping his leg as we did with the standing wrap. The whole purpose of a wound wrap is to get ointment or to wrap around the wound to prevent further damage to the wound. So I'm going to take my wrap and start wrapping it around his leg. Again, just like all of our other wraps, I am going to take it and I am going to make sure that there are no wrinkles or odd bumps or anything like that throughout my wrap as I wrap it. Just like with all of my other wraps, I am taking it and I am wrapping towards myself and then towards his tail. And now, just like with my other wraps, I am going to take my track wrap and I am going to wrap the pillow into place. Keeping consistent pressure. Unlike before, I was wrapping on a front limb, now I'm wrapping on a hind limb. I'm actually going to take 3 finger widths down this particular leg because I do not want to run out of this track wrap as I am wrapping. And as you can see, as I am going down the leg, I am pulling on any uneven surfaces or anything that could cause cording or bowing of the tendon. Again, similar to my standing wrap, I am leaving about 1 inch to 2 inches down at the bottom of the leg. Now I'm going to go back up the leg using about, again, 3 fingers width throughout the wrap. It is important to note that when you are first learning how to wrap, it is very important to practice as much as possible because that's how we personally get better at wraps. It's also super duper important that if a wrap isn't coming out how you want it to, that you either backtrack it to a point where it was good or that you just remove the wrap and start over. It is not worth causing permanent damage to the leg just because you were in a rush and didn't want to restart a wrap. Finally, I'm back at the top and I am going to take it again and wrap around the same area. Again, only leaving a few inches at the top. And then once the wrap is finished like this, I am going to take it and rotate it around and make sure that it doesn't completely spin or flip around. And then I'm going to check the top and make sure that it's not too tight around his upper leg. Finally, because this is a wound wrap and we want to keep it as clean as possible, I'm going to take some elasticon and I am going to wrap it around the top of the wrap to create a seal so that no mud, dirt, or sawdust can get into the wrap. And then I will take some more elasticon and wrap it along the bottom of the wrap. Again, just to create a solid fixture that won't allow any sort of dirt, sawdust, or anything that could cause harm to the wound underneath the wrap. And that right there would be a wound wrap. What I'm going to show is going to be a stack wrap. The items that we are going to need for a stack wrap are going to be 2 pillow wraps of different sizes, usually a long and a short pillow wrap, 2 track bandages. One is going to be shorter and one is going to be extra long. And then finally we are going to need elasticon, scissors, and masking tape, which is utilized for inflammation or if there's an upper extremity wound which can't be solved with a regular wrap. So the first thing that we are going to do is I'm going to use an extra long pillow, again facing the fuzzy part if there is any, towards the leg, and then wrapping around the leg. Unlike my other wraps, this wrap is actually going to go as far as the coronary band, just to make sure that it has enough stability to hold up my secondary wrap. As you can see, I am wrapping with the same amount of tension that I've been wrapping with the rest of my wraps. And I am going ahead and straightening out any type of wrinkles or any type of unevenness within the wrap. And as you can see in this wrap, he's moving around quite a bit, which is totally normal for any horse. I mean, after all, they are horses, and they do have their own priorities in life. So I'm going to go ahead now, I'm going to take my track bandage, and I'm going to wrap around, how I have on the other wrap, with the bulgy part facing towards the leg. And I'm wrapping with the same pressure and tension that I've been wrapping. We want these wraps to be tight enough that they act with support and protection of whatever we are trying to accomplish throughout the wrap. So they can't be so loose that they're going to spin around on the leg, but they shouldn't be so tight that the horse can't move either. So I'm going to wrap down the wrap, trying to keep my width as consistent as possible, straightening out any and all wrinkles as I go. And once I get down to the bottom, I am going to leave about the same width as I have been leaving, so I'm going to leave about an inch to an inch and a half at the bottom, and straighten out all my wrinkles. And then I'm going to start wrapping back up the leg, trying to keep the same width throughout the wrap still. About the same width at the top of my wrap as I left down at the bottom. Before I even move on to the stack portion of my wrap, I want to make sure that my wrap isn't too tight or isn't too loose, and it looks about right. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stick my fingers inside the top of the wrap and make sure that it isn't too tight. And now I'm going to start on the upper portion of my wrap. We are going to use a shorter bandage than we used for the bottom portion. And I'm going to go ahead and stack it on top of my other wrap, using my other wrap as a shelf. Now, I'm going to grab my extra long track wrap, and I'm going to start at the bottom of my bandage and start wrapping. The reason that we start at the bottom of this bandage is because, unlike my other bandage, there was more than enough track wrap. For this, I'm going to have to wrap down the entirety of the leg and then back up the entirety of the leg of where I started. So I want to be certain that there's going to be enough wrap to make it back up the leg. Again, trying to keep as consistent as possible as I wrap down in both width and tightness of the wrap. This wrap is particularly tricky, and you're going to need a lot of practice with it in order to get good at it. I personally like to wrap all the way down my leg, Although it is unnecessary, you can go only halfway down the leg of your previous wrap. And it keeps the wrap on longer and nicer in my personal experience with wrapping horses. And now I'm going to make my way back up the leg. Your leg. You're going to leave it the same end at the bottom. You straighten out your wrap. That wrap did not have a Velcro closure at the end of it due to its length and maker. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my masking tape and I'm going to wrap it in a spiral again. And now, at the very end of my staff wrap, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take some elasticon and seal both the top and the bottom of the wrap in with the elasticon. Most of the time you're going to be utilizing a staff wrap for some sort of upper extremity wound, and so you are going to use this again to create a clean environment in which no dirt or debris or sawdust or any of the gross things that we encounter in a barn can get into your wrap and create infection within the wound. And that is an example of a sack wrap. The final wrap that I'm going to be showing is going to be a hoof wrap. It can be used if your horse throws a shoe and needs extra padding or needs to not break apart his hoof. It could also be utilized in the cases of an abscess where you need to put certain medications or treatments inside of your horse's hoof and keep it on overnight. These could be utilized as well. Today I'm going to just be showing you a basic hoof wrap, which will include a diaper, duct tape, vet wrap, and scissors, and possibly a hoof pick. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up my horse's foot, and then utilizing a hoof pick, I am going to clean out my horse's foot. Now I am going to apply a diaper to his foot. And I'm going to secure it with the tabs of the diaper. I'm going to grab my vet wrap, and I'm going to start wrapping the diaper onto his hoof to add a little bit more security that the diaper is going to actually stay on his hoof. You are going to want to be very certain that when you are wrapping the vet wrap around the hoof that you are not wrapping any along the coronary band, as you do not want to limit blood supply to the foot. And if you do end up wrapping a little bit around the coronary band, you can simply take the scissors and cut a little slit around the hoof to make sure that the vet wrap is not incredibly tight around that area and cutting off blood circulation and causing more problems than it is good. As you can see, I just cut off my vet wrap and am sticking it onto the hoof. And finally, I am going to place my pre-cut duct tape wrap on the hoof, being careful not to stick it on any of his actual skin, as duct tape is an irritant and could irritate skin. So I am trying to be very careful about my placement of the duct tape, and then I'm going to just wrap it around the hoof to offer the bandage more support. And then I'm going to gently place this hoof down in any areas that are left uncovered. I am going to go over with duct tape and seal in. And that would be how you would finish a hoof wrap. Thank you so much for watching my hoof wrapping video with Tosk, and Tosk for being so patient. I hope that you learned something and enjoyed.